So, agreement done 1 week ago between Manchester United and Lille. What happened in this week? That Yoro, who always gave priority to Real Madrid, today I will explain to you all the latest, all the information I have on all the recent stories. But if you were here 1 week ago, and obviously on all my accounts, all my platforms, you remember what I told you 1 week ago, exactly 1 week ago. And it was that Lille accepted an official proposal from Manchester United for Yoro. Now we will enter into the details of this story, but let me start mentioning some of the stories of the day, starting with Mason Greenwood, because this is a very important story for Olympique Marseille, very important story also for Manchester United, because Man United will receive 26 million euros plus 5 in add-ons for Mason Greenwood, plus saving salary, plus 50% of the future sale. So the agreement between Manchester United and Marseille was already done last week. Today has been confirmed with documents being exchanged between Manchester United and Olympique Marseille. The important part is that Mason Greenwood gave his confirmation to the deal, said yes to Olympique Marseille. So Marseille have now booked a private flight for Mason Greenwood to travel, undergo medical test, sign the contract, but here we go is there for Mason Greenwood to Olympique Marseille, because everything is agreed. Now it's just time to respect a program with Mason Greenwood to travel, to undergo the medical, and then to sign a 5-year deal as new Olympique Marseille player with Man United, keeping 50% of the future sale for Mason Greenwood. Then one of the stories of the day is also on Jean-Claude Todibo, a player who was really close to Manchester United, because it's true that West Ham agreed on deal with Nice for Todibo, but Juventus are still the priority of the player. Juve keep pushing for Todibo. So Todibo in this moment is waiting for Juventus. Alvaro Morata completed medical test with Milan, but the big story of the day is on Manchester United, and we have something else to say on Manchester United. But let me start with Yoro, because as I told you 1 week ago, Manchester United had a bid accepted by Lille for Yoro. The bid is still the same, so the conditions of the deal have not changed in the last week, and the bid was for 50 million euros guaranteed fee plus 12 million euros in add-ons, 5 easy and 7 more kind of difficult add-ons. So 50 guaranteed, 5 easy, 7 not that easy. But obviously with Yoro performances, anything can happen in terms of triggering the bonuses. So agreement done 1 week ago between Manchester United and Lille. What happened in this week? That Yoro, who always gave priority to Real Madrid and always wanted to wait for Real Madrid, and actually decided to wait for Real Madrid in the recent days, had the clear feeling on one side that Real Madrid were not going to match the proposal of Manchester United. So Real Madrid never told Yoro, never told his agent, never told Lille, okay, we are going to match the proposal and sign Yoro immediately. Real Madrid's strategy was completely different. Real Madrid only proposal was worth around 25 million euros, add-ons included, for Yoro. And the idea of Real Madrid was, if you want to come to Real Madrid, this is our proposal. If Lille decide to accept in the next weeks, okay, it's fine. Otherwise, you can join us as a free agent starting from next season. So Yoro had to decide with Real Madrid with this kind of strategy, and with Manchester United, very, very aggressive. They had a bid accepted by Lille. They presented an important project to the player. They wanted Yoro to be one of the superstars for the future of Manchester United. So they were very strong in approaching the player and trying to convince the player. And they've been able to do so because they have the green light of Yoro to travel and to complete his move to Man United. Man United want to be very fast. So the expectation is for the Here We Go to come very soon, already today, probably, because Man United don't want to lose time, because they fear that any club can jump in and try to adjust the deal, obviously, especially Real Madrid. But at the moment, it's very clear feeling on all parties that Yoro is ready to go to Manchester United. Manchester United have booked the medical for Yoro to do everything very fast. And the medical has been booked today. So Man United have everything ready for medical test later today for Lenny Yoro because they want him to sign as soon as possible. They want to make it happen as soon as possible. They don't want to lose time. 5-year contract, 1-year option, exactly the same contract of Joshua Zirkzee in terms of length, but in terms of salary is way higher. And also an important commission is part of this story. So everything is agreed with the agent. The contract is also accepted by the player. Now it's time to proceed with the formal steps. So for Lenny Yoro to undergo the medical test, sign the contract, and make sure that this process is as fast as possible to avoid any other club entering into this story. For Paris Saint-Germain was already over a few days ago. As I told you in the last update I did on Lenny Yoro in the recent days, Paris Saint-Germain were completely off in negotiations for Lenny Yoro because they understood that Lenny wanted to try a different league. So didn't want to continue in France, but wanted to try something different. Priority to Real Madrid, but also listening to Manchester United proposal. So he wanted to try something different. Liverpool considered Lenny Yoro as a target this summer. Liverpool also made contact with the agents of the player, but the feeling of Liverpool has always been that Lenny Yoro was going to be a Real Madrid player. So Liverpool never had the feeling that it was possible to convince Lenny Yoro. Manchester United presented an incredible proposal because the feeling is that another crucial part of the story and part of the winning strategy for Manchester United was to present such a big proposal to Lille because the president of Lille, Olivier Letang, in the last 7 days spent a lot of time talking directly to the boy, directly to Lenny Yoro. He has a very good relationship with Lenny Yoro, who is obviously a talent coming up from Lille, and told him several times, go to Manchester United, trying every single way to convince the player to go to Manchester United. Obviously, for him is the perfect solution for the president because he's getting 50 million euros plus 12 in advance for a player who is out of contract next summer, who can sign with any club starting from January 1st on a free transfer. So imagine paying that money for a player who is on a free transfer. But for Man United was the only way to reach the agreement immediately, to push on Lille, and to convince Lenny Yoro to be able to sign one of the best talents in the market. So this is what Manchester United did. Could be an expensive strategy, yes, but Man United feel this was the only way to sign one of the best talents in the world in his position. Remember that when Real Madrid started considering the signing of Lenny Yoro, October, November last year, so spending long time on this story, Real Madrid were considering internally in the scouting department Lenny Yoro as the Kylian Mbappé of the defenders. So this is the level of the player. The potential of the player is fantastic. But Manchester United, with a different, completely different strategy, were able to reach this stage of the story, ready for the here we go as soon as they can, because they don't want to waste any time. Also important to say on the Lenny Yoro case that Real Madrid maintain their position. Real Madrid, even if Man United are obviously cautious till the end of the story, Real Madrid will not pay that money. So Real Madrid are not expected to bid 62 million euros today or to try to do something like that. Because it's not in Real Madrid style. What they told the player since day one is, if you want to come, we want you, but you have to respect our timing, our strategy. Lenny Yoro took some time. Lenny Yoro has been waiting for 1 week for Real Madrid, but Lenny Yoro understood that Man United were way more convinced about bringing the player in now, even convinced about spending 50 million euros plus 12 in advance for a player they had a chance to sign as a free agent next summer. So Manchester United are about to complete this move, to complete this deal. It's really, really close. Also, let me say that this will have an impact on the Matthijs de Ligt story, because obviously Manchester United now can't spend 100 million euros, more than 100 million euros on 2 centre-backs without outgoings. So Man United still want to sign 2 centre-backs this summer. Man United intention remains to bring in 2 players in that position, but now Joshua Zirkzee, Lenny Yoro, now they will finally focus also on some other outgoing after Mason Greenwood, so trying to sell some players. Matthijs de Ligt remains a strong option. Also, Jared Brantwaite is a player they like, but considered almost impossible in terms of price and in terms of total package needed. Matthijs de Ligt remains keen on a move to Manchester United, but Man United never closed the deal with Bayer because they were waiting for Lenny Yoro. Now they are close to signing Lenny Yoro. Matthijs de Ligt keeps waiting for Manchester United. He remains a strong option, but they need some outgoing to make the deal happen for Matthijs de Ligt. So to see de Ligt and Yoro to Man United, some outgoing is absolutely needed. Meanwhile, Man United keep working on several options also in the midfield, because in case the Casemiro deal could accelerate with Al Ittihad, for Man United, also the midfield after Zirze as a striker, after Yoro as a centre-back, also the midfield is going to be a crucial position to cover. So this is the plan, this is the idea. Man United are super active on the market. Then other stories of the day already with Nikola Milenkovic to Nottingham Forest is here we go. Victor Osimhen and Paris Saint-Germain. This is a really important story of the day. Paris Saint-Germain are advancing in talks with Victor Osimhen agent on the contract, and Osimhen is keen on a move to Paris Saint-Germain. Now PSG have to understand, first of all, if they can sell a striker on the market, and then what kind of price they can agree with Napoli, because there is a release clause, and we know how tough is Napoli in negotiations, but they have an agreement, Osimhen and Napoli, on the exit, and so Paris Saint-Germain are there for Victor Osimhen, pushing a lot for Victor Osimhen. I will keep you posted, guys, on all the other stories. On Xavi Simons, as soon as he decides, I will let you know, guys, don't worry. And Lenny Yoro, the big story of the day. So Man United advancing to the final stages, medical booked today for Lenny Yoro to close the deal as soon as possible. The here we go is expected very soon. Thank you, guys, for being here, as always, and see you later. Ciao.